1967 wasn't loud. It didn't rush you, it leaned in.
People get ready as a train.
This was the year soul music slowed its heartbeat, where velvet vocals, warm horns, and late-night melodies became medicine for the mind. Long before playlists and
For the hopeless
algorithms, these songs were already doing what we now call vibes curing. Tonight, we're drifting back to 1967
to hear the deepest harmony.
to rediscover 15 relaxing soul and R&B classics, songs that calmed storms, soothed heartbreak, and wrapped the world in groove. Some were chart toppers, some slipped quietly into the background, but every one of them still knows exactly where to touch you. Dim the lights, let the needle drop. This is Vibe's Cure. Number 15. I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Gladys Knight and the Pips. This version doesn't rush toward heartbreak. It walks there. The rhythm section keeps its distance, bass stepping carefully, drums holding back just enough to let the tension breathe. Gladys Knight doesn't accuse, she reports. Her voice carries restraint, the kind that comes when you already know the truth and don't need confirmation. The Pips respond like echoes of thought, reinforcing what's already sinking in. There's something relaxing about that control. The song doesn't spike your emotions. It lets them settle. You feel the ache not as shock, but as understanding. This is soul music designed for reflection, not confrontation. A reminder that pain doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it whispers and waits for you to catch up. That's why this recording endures. It trusts silence, it trusts space. It lets the listener do the emotional work at their own pace. In a year full of movement, this song chose patience and found power in it. Number 14. Everybody Needs Love by Gladys Knight and the Pips. No argument, no persuasion, just a truth laid gently on the table. The groove settles in like evening light through a window. Nothing jumps forward. Everything arrives exactly when it should. Gladys sings with warmth instead of urgency, her voice wrapping the message in reassurance rather than demand. The harmonies lift the idea upward, not to dramatize it, but to steady it. This song relaxes because it removes friction.
They need some change in their life.
There's no villain here, no struggle, just recognition, love as a common need, love as shared ground. It's soul music that doesn't need to prove its case, it simply states it and waits.
They want to be like Jesus, but they still...
That calm confidence is what gives the song its longevity. Decades later, it still feels relevant because it never chased the moment. It spoke to the constant. When the world feels loud, this track reminds you that connection doesn't need volume. Sometimes it only needs agreement. Number 13, A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. This song drifts rather than moves. The organ floats like memory itself. Unresolved, circular, calm. The rhythm doesn't push forward, it lingers. It allows the listener to remain suspended between thoughts. That's why it found a home alongside soul records on late-night radio. It understood atmosphere. There's no demand for interpretation. Lyrics pass by like fragments of a dream you don't fully need to understand to feel. The calm comes from permission. The permission not to solve, not to conclude, not to arrive. In 1967, this kind of stillness mattered. natural acceleration, this track offered pause. It remains relaxing because it never insists. It simply exists, and in doing so, invites you to exist with it. Number 12, When Something Is Wrong With My Baby by Sam and Dave. The rhythm walks beside you, drums keep time like a steady heartbeat. Horns speak softly, never interrupting. Sam and Dave don't shout support, they offer it. Their voices move together, reinforcing presence rather than dominance. What relaxes here is certainty. The song doesn't question loyalty, it assumes it. Pain is acknowledged, but never exaggerated. This is soul music as companionship, strong enough to carry weight, gentle enough not to overwhelm. Even decades later, it feels grounding. A reminder that sometimes comfort comes from knowing someone isn't leaving. No drama, no promises shouted across the room. Just steadiness, set to rhythm. Number 11, I Never Loved a Man, The Way I Love You by Aretha Franklin. The piano opens the door quietly. Aretha steps through without armor. Her voice doesn't decorate the truth, it delivers it. Each phrase carries weight without force, emotion without excess. The band understands its role and stays back, letting the confession breathe. This song relaxes not because it's light, but because it's honest. There's no pretending here, no attempt to soften the feeling. And somehow, that honesty creates calm. When the truth is spoken clearly, the tension dissolves. It remains timeless because it doesn't posture. It speaks plainly. And plain truth, delivered gently, has always been one of soul music's greatest comforts. Number 10, Sweet Soul Music by Arthur Conley. This song doesn't shout joy, it shares it. The groove slides in easy. Drums bouncing just enough to keep the body awake without pulling the mind forward. The horns don't attack, they sparkle. Arthur Conley sings like he's talking to a room that already understands the joke. Every name he drops isn't nostalgia yet. It's recognition, a reminder that soul music was a living conversation, not a museum. What makes this relaxing is its confidence. Nothing here feels rushed or forced. The rhythm trusts itself. The vocal doesn't need to prove anything. This is joy that has already settled into place. You don't dance to it, you sway with it. In 1967, this mattered. The world was loud, fast, and changing shape. This song paused long enough to say, we're still here. And that pause, set to rhythm, became its power. Sweet soul music, not as genre, but as grounding. If this music is slowing your thoughts and settling the room, that's what Viber's Cure is here for. Subscribe so these moments of calm find you again. Late nights, quiet mornings, whenever you need them. Now, let's keep going. Number 9, Try a Little Tenderness by Otis Redding. The lesson arrives quietly. Strings hover, drums wait. Otis Redding begins not with force, but with instruction. His voice is calm, measured, almost careful. He isn't commanding, he's guiding. The song unfolds like advice, meant to be taken seriously, not dramatically. And that's where the calm lives, in the patience. The music knows exactly where it's going, but it refuses to rush there. When the groove finally rises, it doesn't explode, it opens. The power feels earned, not demanded. This is relaxation through trust. Trust in timing. Trust in feeling. feeling. Trust that tenderness, when given space, carries its own weight. More than half a century later, the song still teaches the same thing. Slow down, listen longer, feel deeper. The calm isn't in the quiet, it's in the restraint. Number 8, Soul Man by Sam and Dave. Confidence locked into rhythm, the drums plant themselves early. The bass follows with certainty. Call and response moves like breath, out and back, steady and sure. Sam and Dave don't hesitate. They declare, and the groove backs them completely. What makes this relaxing, surprisingly, is its clarity. There's no doubt here, no searching. The song knows who it is and stands there comfortably. That certainty creates ease. You're not waiting for direction, you're already inside it. Even at its most energetic, the pocket never breaks. Everything stays aligned. This is soul music standing tall without leaning forward. Strength expressed through balance, power expressed through control. Number 7, Your Precious Love by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Two voices sharing the same calm center. Nothing reaches, nothing strains. The rhythm sways like it already knows where it belongs. Marvin and Tammy sing with each other, not at each other. Their voices overlap gently, like hands resting in the same place. This song relaxes because it feels safe. Love isn't presented as urgency or fire. It's presented as steadiness, as reassurance, as something that doesn't need to prove itself out loud. In 1967, this kind of intimacy felt radical in its softness. Even now, it feels rare. The calm here isn't empty, it's full of trust, full of ease, full of the quiet confidence that comes when two people don't need to raise their voices to be heard. Number 6, Baby I Love You by Aretha Franklin. Affection spoken without armor, the arrangement floats, nothing presses forward. Aretha doesn't overpower, she reassures. Her voice settles into the song like it's already home. Each phrase feels personal, almost private, like it's meant for one listener sitting close. The calm comes from sincerity. There's no performance here, no declaration meant for the room, just truth delivered gently. This is love without spectacle. Love that doesn't need witnesses. That's why it relaxes. It lowers the temperature. It softens the space. It reminds you that sometimes the strongest emotions arrive quietly and stay longer because of it. Number 5, Knock on Wood by Eddie Floyd. Hope carried at walking speed. The groove moves forward steadily, never sprinting. Eddie Floyd sings with optimism that feels practiced. Not naive. The rhythm supports him like ground beneath his feet. Nothing wobbles, nothing rushes. This song relaxes because it believes in continuity. Everybody, come on. In staying power, in luck protected by care. It doesn't promise perfection, only persistence. And that's enough. In a year full of upheaval, this track offered reassurance through motion. Keep moving, keep believing, keep time. Calm doesn't always come from stillness. Sometimes it comes from knowing the rhythm won't stop. Number 4, Tell It Like It Is by Aaron Neville. A voice barely touching the ground. Aaron Neville sings like he's holding something fragile. His falsetto doesn't soar, it hovers. The arrangement gives him space, and he uses it carefully. Vulnerability becomes the atmosphere. There's no defense here, no mask.
And I'm not a little boy.
This song relaxes because it removes tension. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is exaggerated. Truth is offered plainly, and in that honesty, the nervous system settles.
If you are serious, little girl,
it remains timeless because it understands something
don't play
essential.
with my heart.
Calm doesn't come from certainty
It makes me
alone.
furious.
Sometimes it comes from allowing yourself to be seen without protection.
But if you want me to love you,
Number 3, Your Love Keeps Lifting Me. Higher and Higher by Jackie Wilson. Joy that knows its balance. The beat steps upward. The melody follows. Everything stays aligned. Jackie Wilson sings with lift, but
your love
never loses control. The groove keeps him grounded while the emotion rises. This is elevation without chaos. Happiness without frenzy. The calm lives in the structure. The song knows exactly how high to go and when to hold steady. That's
my closest friend. But then you
why it still works. It doesn't overwhelm. It carries you upward and keeps you there, suspended in motion, safe in rhythm.
came and it soon departed.
Number 2, People Get Ready by The Impressions. By 1967, this song had become a resting place.
Is the key, open the doors and board.
The rhythm barely moves. The harmonies do most of the work. Curtis Mayfield's voice doesn't push, it reassures. Progress
To hear the diesel's harmony.
is framed as patience, hope as preparation. This song relaxes because it removes urgency. There's no countdown, no deadline, just readiness. Just faith carried gently forward. It became timeless because it doesn't belong to a moment.
Picking up passengers, cold.
It belongs to waiting, to breathing, to believing without rushing the future into the present. Number 1, Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Not the anthem yet.
There when you want me some way, somehow.
Still the promise. The tempo glides, the rhythm smiles. Marvin and Tammy don't shout devotion, they offer it.
If you ever need a helping hand, I'll be there.
Love is presented as availability, not spectacle. Support, not conquest. This version relaxes because it trusts love to be
Ain't no valley low enough.
steady. Mountains exist, but they don't need to be conquered today. Presence is enough. Commitment is spoken calmly.
I told you you could always count on me, girl.
It closes 1967 the way the year often closed its best songs. Not with fireworks, but with warmth, with balance, with
Keep me from getting to you, baby.
belief. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing music can do is let you rest inside it.
Oh, no, no.